Hey, hey, hey. What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition, where we are here every Wednesday night, except for last week due to Thanksgiving. So we are so happy to be back in the throne, back in New York City for me. This is episode 522. I am your host, Steve V, alongside partner in crime, Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to have you home. Welcome home, boo.
Thank you. Even though it is cold outside, we are heating things up tonight.
Oh,
Because a little bit later in the show, we are welcoming Jet of Jet's Adventures. So much to talk to him about. We both met him a few weeks back through Vacaya, and we've got to talk so much about his naked tours, his OnlyFans. I have a big announcement to make. Really exciting show ahead of you. Stay
Big
tuned.
announcement.
Big announcement,
I'm
exactly.
ready.
We we are in front of a live virtual audience as well, and we see the comments coming through. So keep them coming. We'll read them along the way. We've been away for a minute on this show due to Thanksgiving, and I did want to read some viewer responses recently. One of them came from I'm all over the place on this show here. A guy, Go Dog, reached out to us and said, because I talk a little bit about foot fetish on this show,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided to share this with us. Some researchers have hypothesized that foot fetishism increases as a response to epidemics of sexually transmitted infections. And in one study conducted by A. James Gianni at Ohio State University, an increased interest in feet as sexual objects was observed during the Great Gonorrhea epidemic of the 12th century Europe and the syphilis epidemics of the 16th and 19th centuries in Europe. In the same study, the frequency of foot fetish depictions in pornographic literature was measured over a 30-year interval. An exponential increase was noted during the period of the current AIDS epidemic, and in these cases, sexual foot play was viewed as a safe sex alternative. I like that,
Oh, me
although I
too.
don't think that fits in my way that I became into foot. I wasn't around in the 16th, 17th century.
Even though we are of a certain age.
AIDS epidemic for sure. So I think maybe that was, and I could go into why I think I got into it in a different show. But
I
this is
want to
really
know. I'm
no,
curious
I don't.
now.
I just think I became. I was a gymnast for so many years, and I had these older gymnasts around me, and I just started looking at their feet. I don't know. It became hot for me, and
Okay.
yeah, and I act on it now. But more to come on a later show, but thank you so much for writing in on that. Um, Jaguar, who watches us or listens to us, excuse me, on YouTube. Kodi, on episode 521, you were talking about ghosting. Interesting because we were just talking about it prior to we press record on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaguar says, "Thank you, Kodi, for being a grown ass man and being honest with your situation. If more guys would do that, it would be less walking wounded in the world." And if people are wondering maybe compliment to you, Kodi. That's really
I
sweet.
know. Thank you so much. I actually just reached out just now, right before we got on the air, which is why we were talking about it. But yeah, thank you. I
Yeah,
was
and
expecting a little. Go ahead.
just to give people a little bit of reference, we were talking about ghosting, how a lot of people, this person on Reddit was feeling like they have a nice first date.
Hmm.
Often it's even a sexual first date, and then they don't hear from the person. We were giving our take on perhaps why. You were telling us your story being fresh out of a relationship. And with that, I think that's where you were talking about somebody recently where you felt like maybe you needed to be a little bit more honest and upfront.
Yeah, and just take things a little slower. So yeah, and now I have reached out, and hopefully things will go in the best way possible, so that because I'm being completely candid and honest. So Yeah, thank you for writing in. I was afraid I was gonna get some pushback as far as like, "Oh, Kodi, you're a horrible person," and it's that
You can never be a horrible person when you're being true, honest, and to yourself, and that's on them, really.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true.
I don't think you could ever be that way. We are live, and hello, Durand, one of our favorite viewers and friends to the show. Hello, hello, hello. Caladad watching us live says, Mazel Tov, Bryce and Steve. I love my boyfriend's beautiful feet. Okay, see? Yeah. Is it from the 16th century or through a pandemic or epidemic that you fell in love? Or you just like your boyfriend's feet? I'm sure that's what it
Oh
really
my goodness.
is. Also, in comments from episode 520, since we've been away for a minute, Lou P says, great discussion on your most recent podcast. All three of you made valid points. My 2 cents worth is Kinsey and the Kinsey scale points to the fact of a spectrum. We were talking about a spectrum in sexuality, and Bryce, I believe, wrote into us
It
to
was.
say that he was talking about spectrum and how everybody talks about spectrum, but in the gay community, are we really, what was
Really
his
on
point? That, like, are we
his
really
yes, about how we're not as forthcoming with us actually being on a spectrum as well, because we're
gay
gay
men?
men, so we just wanna be pigeonholed into being a gay man, and we don't wanna see if somebody says that we're attracted to women, we feel like we are offended by anybody saying that we're attracted to women. So, yeah, it was a great
Got it. So
I loved
thank
it.
you for that. And then Lou continues to say, but speaking as an older man of 75, my life has been on the spectrum. I came into my homosexuality in my 60s, and I have met other men whose life experiences parallels my own somewhat. My late boyfriend was a good gold star gay, but although I would imagine a majority of guys who identify as gay have histories that are exclusively gay, there are millions of us who don't identify as bi, but rather as gay, despite years or decades of heterosexual experiences. And he continues to say, love the show, and we love you, Lou, for being a listener. Thank you so much. Okay, and lastly, we were talking recently on episode 521 about how daddies are really coming into the forefront in gay sexuality and how younger gays are really finding older daddies hot. And there's a recent or an article that came out a few years ago, actually. It's through Andrew Christian's blog, but it says how to tell a gay daddy from a gay zaddy. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this was through that episode 521, Teddy Alexis, our co-host, was kept referencing zaddy. Did you notice that, Cody?
I didn't. I didn't even know that he was saying zaddy because I look at Teddy as my daddy because he's so much older than me.
So this article wants to point out the difference between a zaddy versus a daddy, and I think I want to fall more into the zaddy category because
Okay.
zaddies seem to dress a little bit better. They seem to work out. Until recently, youth ruled the runway. However, more and more top designers chose older men with like a silver swagger to go down the runway. Where to find zaddies besides the gym? Well, zaddies can be found on Instagram. You can search the hashtag zaddies, and they are popping up a little bit more. And then they ask the question, who's your favorite gay zaddy is? And I would say Pedro, who's the one that we keep talking about on the show all the time?
Pascal.
Pedro
Oh, Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal,
Although
my
he's not
favorite.
gay,
Oh,
that but he
Luke
could be a
Evans
Zad.
then. Oh
Luke
yeah,
Evans. Oh, you're
yeah.
hey, all right, quick.
I'm on it. I I get in there
Luke
like swimwear.
Evans
Okay.
is a gay zaddy, yeah. And I want to fall into the more the zaddy category
I
over
want to fall into
daddy.
that zaddy.
Read some comments that are coming through as I
Oh
go to the next
yes.
topic.
Cool. So Claudio says that he's a first-time viewer, and thank you for this platform and information. It's provided so uh information provided and perspectives that are provided. And Khalid says that he will always love his partner's feet until the end of time. So from the beginning of time to the end of the time. So we're doing good. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, Queer Cities Who We Love, they interviewed me recently on how to travel. You can get this interview on tagspodcast.com, but traveling with a BDSM mindset and sex positive mindset. And it's a really good interview. And I really thank Matthew who interviewed me on that. But they're doing a current poll right now. We're doing the same poll on ours right now. If you can direct people, Cody,
Yep, I
make
just
the
made it active.
so they're asking these towns across the globe made a name for themselves by welcoming LGBTQ plus folks before it was the cool thing to do. And they want everybody to vote. And many of them I've been to, and we're talking about Provincetown in Massachusetts, Fort Lauderdale in Florida, Cape Town, South Africa, Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Can you help me with this place in Michigan? Sagatuck? Do you know that
Saugatuck?
place?
I've never heard of that place. When I saw that it was an enclave, is that how we're saying it?
Enclave is what I was saying. Is it an enclave or
Enclave.
enclave? I always say enclave, but uh,
I saw that was an enclave.
Saugatuck and Douglas, and I'm sure we just butchered that, but it's in Michigan, and I need to go this year or next year. Fire Island in New York, which is in our neck of the woods. Sitges in Spain. Palm Springs, California, is the last one. I've been to every one of them except that Saugatuck and Douglas. Of course, if I was to vote right now, it would be Puerto Vallarta. But I have so
Yeah,
many others and more things to say. You know, it's interesting that they're doing this right now, and I love that they're doing a queer enclave, however you want to say it,
I love enclave.
because
Let's do it. Let's go all the
enclave.
way.
Yes, exactly. Because there's a recent study that says that 40% of Americans, at least, are afraid to walk alone at night. And this is the most in decades, the poll says, where the spike of fear comes as violent crime has actually decreased nationwide, while property crime has ticked up, according to the FBI. And there's more to this story, and I'll post it on tagspodcast.com. But I do think this is a time when we start thinking about travel, Cody. It's a
Mhm.
lot of people love to travel in the holiday season. Soon as January comes around, we are looking at 2024, where we want to go. And it's like an exciting time to plan your year ahead. Us as gay men love to plan travel. And I love this list. I've been to everyone except that for that place that we just listed.
Let's just say Douglas, Michigan, because we don't have to say we know how to say Douglas.
Right. There's a
Yeah.
few others that I think are left off the list too, but we're doing a current poll. If you go to our poll right now, it's on the right side if you're watching us live. Vote on which one what's your favorite one. I said mine, Puerto Vallarta, of course. I've been going there nonstop. Our current guest that's going to come on in a little bit is going to speak a lot about Puerto Vallarta,
So you
but
had to say
no, but I
it.
really love it. Which would
Yeah.
be your favorite out of this list?
I would say I have only been to the only ones that I have not been to are Douglas, Michigan, and Cape Town, South Africa. Oh, and Provincetown as well. But all of the others I've been to, so I can speak from a knowledgeable standpoint on this. And I love Sieges. I went for my 40th
Oh,
birthday, and it was just magical. I had the best time. I met so many hot and beautiful guys there, and it's a magical place. And I enjoyed myself. I had an amazing time, an immersive time with all of my friends there. So I think that I would go back to Siege, Spain, and I want to live that European lifestyle. So that would be my pick.
the other thing about Sitges too is you can spend part of your time in Barcelona, which
It's
is
true.
totally sexy, great food, so much to see, hot men, bathhouses, and everything. And then you can just take a quick train ride and make your way over to Sitges. So it's really easy breezy. I've been to Cape Town and I really loved it. It was so inclusive. And while you're there, you might as well go on a safari. But I love, love, love Cape Town. Fort Lauderdale, I adore,
Yeah,
and so many good things coming out of there. Provincetown, we need to go, Cody.
we
Like,
need to
just come
go.
on. It's
I need
like
to check it out. It's an enclave. I need to
it's an
go there.
enclave. And the TikTok, and we'll meet up with our co-host Jeremy Ross Lopez, who's in nearby Massachusetts there. So absolutely. Caladad says S&K, y'all may need to tell people how to find the oh,
Oh,
did you not?
so the poll, if you go over to the right hand side of the screen and the chat, it's right underneath Q&A. It's
Yeah,
the
it looks like
third
a
one
little
down.
statistical
Yep. And just click
graph
on that and
there.
you guys can vote right there. So, yep, that's how you.
Exactly.
I never normally have to tell people how to find my poll. It's normally just there and ready for a nice play.
Well, I think we have time for this one story that I thought was really funny, Cody,
Let's
and it
do
had
it.
to do when I was in Puerto Vallarta recently. We took our mom to see this really amazing show called Rhythms of the Night. And it's on, you take a boat ride over there, you're having drinks on the way over there. It is, think Cirque du Soleil. And actually, I believe one of the creators of Cirque started this, but it's in the jungle. So it's trapeze, it is fire play. Well, we went. It was amazing. I highly recommend it. Rhythms of the Night. The next time you're in Puerto Vallarta, and one of the performers. So I was filming this little video so I could post on social media, and it got wind of Rhythms of the Night, including one of the performers that reached
Mhm.
out to my sister because she reposted it. And one of the hot guys that my friend and my sister was lusting after, and he was hot, did this one moment where he takes this fire and puts it down his throat, and it's
Ooh.
amazing. And he DM'd my sister and said, I saw this video. Do you think I could get that actual piece of the video? And she in turn said, well, my brother shot it, but I'll reach out to him. Well, I ended up reaching out to him and said, hey, my sister said that you wanted this part of the video. If you send me your email, because you know how you can't download videos on Instagram.
Yes.
If you send me your email, I'd be happy to send it to you. He was like, oh, I would be so grateful. This would be great. And he sent me his email. I sent it back. I did it really quickly, the edit. I sent it back. I said, sent in a DM. Sent you the video. And what did I get back? Thanks, bro. Which I was laughing. And here's the thing. When I looked at him, our upcoming guest, who's going to come on the show in just a second, Jet,
Uh-huh.
actually of his. And it's so funny. Here he is right now.
Hi, Jet.
You can come on right now, Jet.
We were just
Did
talking about you, Jet.
I preemptively jumped on.
You
Well,
shot
this is,
early,
I don't know if
Jet.
you've
What
been
the
listening to my story.
hell?
Have you
I
been listening?
was.
Okay, let me finish the story and then we'll introduce you. So I looked at
Okay.
this guy's feed, and Jet's Adventures was a friend. And I thought, oh, well, he's a friend. That doesn't mean that he's gay, but I got the thanks, bro. And I told my sister, I'm like, that's when you know when a straight guy wants to let you know he's straight. And I was like, okay, I got it. And we were just laughing. It's so funny. Have you
What?
seen Rhythms of the Night,
Or,
Jet, by
or after
chance?
they come.
Or after they come? Yes, exactly. Good point. Well, this is
Wow.
and
Wait,
it's
I say bro all the time. Does that make me straight?
I guess so.
you do
That's
you do not say bro, but
I do,
okay.
bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Okay, all right, whatever. Well, we have to welcome our very special guest, Jet of Jet's Adventures, to the show. He runs Jet's Naked Tours, Jet's Gay Youth Hostel, Jet's so much more. We're going to get into all of it. But Jet, you were in Argentina. Welcome to Tags Live.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I guess we should first explain cheers, and I guess you got your glass of
Cheers, everyone.
wine.
Cheers,
You know,
Jet.
you and I met,
Welcome.
and as well as Cody, on recently a few weeks back on the red light district that Vacaya had set up, and I realized that they pitched to you in Puerto Vallarta, can you set up this red light district? And first of all, what did you think of that? Because you did it on a boat that was 3 or 4 stories, and you actually outfitted it to look like a red light district. What did you think when you got this task?
Well, I was super excited because I've always felt like a bathhouse connoisseur. Like I love
Oh.
checking them out. I love traveling around the world and like going to all the different ones. And because I used to be very shy about it, but now I just like love them and fascinated by them. So the fact that I was gonna be able to like prop one up on a boat, like a blank canvas, and just kind of do whatever I wanted with it was just amazing for me. I just like lowballed the the budget just so they could give me like the green light, which in hindsight was not the best idea, but
Mm.
but it was amazing. And it was just me and my coworker Alita. She's our operations manager, but she's a female and never been to a bathhouse. But you know, days before I had her sewing like glory holes, like so we could like cover them
Wow.
up. And she was on it. She was on Google, like checking out the height, the length, the width, the opinions of like what a good glory hole like would be, and like so she was like all in, and I was all in, and we were having just like the time of our life. We're like, is it gonna work? And yeah, I felt like it worked out really well, so I was very happy about it.
Oh, yes, it totally did. I had a great time. Thank you so much, Jet.
Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
you spoke about being a bathhouse connoisseur. Where is your favorite bathhouse, and what do you think makes a good bathhouse?
Well, I actually like to work remote at a bathhouse.
Oh.
So, my favorite was in Lisbon, Portugal, because there they had like the jacuzzi, the shower, the hoses, the steam rooms, the bathrooms. They had a bar, they had snacks, they had Wi-Fi, they had tables, they had lockers, they had every and Brazilians and Europeans. Like, what else did I need? I
Right?
mean, and it was like all there, and then I could be like working at a table, and I would go in the middle of the week because it would be slow, you know, so I could focus. And then I could be like, you know, working on my computer because there wasn't a lot going on. But then one hot Brazilian guy would walk in and be like, "All right, computer shut down. I'm gonna take a little break. Take a little break on this one. Go store my computer, and then I'd have some fun. And then I would come back and I'd be like, "Boop, back to work."
Back to work. Oh my gosh.
Lifestyle. It's so funny because in America, we don't get that concept, and I feel overseas, anywhere, Mexico or Lisbon, obviously, they do incorporate all these things. So yeah, I love it's lifestyle, right?
Mhm.
Well, we have to ask
Mhm.
you, talk about Jet's private tours, your website, and all the things that you offer. One of them is your naked beach tours that you do, I believe, every Friday, Saturday. Can you talk about
Mhm.
that and how that all came about?
Yeah, well, I think the Naked Beach is a culmination of all my travels because Jet's Adventures and myself, I came from just traveling on the world and just seeing what I liked and stuff. And I just started dabbling with like nudism, bathhouses, and getting comfortable with my body. And then I started the boat tours about 7 years ago, and it was just clothing, normal, snorkeling, family friendly, couples, friends, families, and all that stuff. But I had a friend that asked me, like, why don't we do naked stuff? Like, you know, we're in Vallarta, let's just try it out. And at first, it didn't, it seemed like I thought it was a really good idea because I was like, you know, exploring being naked and stuff. But he was a nudist at heart. And we kind of didn't see the market moving at first. Like, first, it was like two people on a boat, three people on a boat for like a good season. But I had already been seasoned as far as like a boat tour guide operator. So I was like, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. So we were very consistent. Had made sure everybody was happy, and now we do groups of like 100 people, 110 people, like Fridays and Saturdays. This past couple weekends has been like sold out, waiting list, and people just like can't get more, and it's just amazing. And then weeks before that, we did like an OnlyFans collab with Austin Wolf, and where they brought
Ooh.
40 models, and that was insane. Seeing like all those guys like behind the scenes, like live camera action of what's going on behind the scenes on our naked beach. It was amazing. It's crazy how it's grown from a small group of let's just try it out to now it's like full blown everywhere. So it's been amazing.
And can you just tell us a little bit about your background with Puerto Vallarta? Because I heard that you were from Texas, actually. So tell us
Yeah.
about how you came into contact with Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. So yeah, you know, it's funny because I still feel like Vallarta is still under the radar as far as like internationally, right? Like you go to Sitges, like in the US, I think most of the gays hear about it for sure. But now, and I think this is only recent, but if you go to like Sitges or like other gay enclaves around the world,
Get
uh,
it.
you will. people don't know about Puerto Vallarta. So for me as well, like being a Texan, I had never heard about it. So I just had my best friend at the time. He was like, "Oh, there's like amazing snorkeling, it's super gay friendly," and I was like, "Okay." And he'd never traveled like at all. So for him to tell me this about Mexico at the time was like really like eye opening. I was like, "Okay, let me go check it out." So yeah, I checked it out and I fell in love with it. Somebody gave me a job as a tour guide there, as an ATV tour guide. I was just there for a month. And I just fell in love with it. I was getting paid to take people to waterfalls, to like check out the mountains on motorcycles, and then eat food and like tequila and get paid for it. So I just I stayed, and I loved it ever since.
I love it.
Mhm.
And going back to the Naked Beach tours, because I'm really excited because when I come back at the end of December into January, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday on January 12th, y'all. And I'm going to be doing it.
Yes.
My actual birthday falls on a Friday, which is when you go out there. I know you do Fridays and Saturdays. And I'm really excited about it. I will book early because it sounds like they book fast. But paint a picture of, because I heard about these sort of enclaves or these places that, what's the day like? We go on a boat. I know it's a private beach. Are there areas that you can kind of go off on your own? Paint a sort of picture. Don't tell us everything, but
Mm.
tease the
Yeah.
audience.
Tease the audience. Well, yeah, for the ones that haven't been there, it's like a paradise, total slice of paradise for us gay homos like in Mexico, right? Um, it's really beautiful. So we leave Puerto Vallarta, the downtown Los Muertos area, on a boat. These like little, they call them pangas. They use like speedboats out there. Takes about 45 minutes to an hour to get down there. On the way there, we like to keep it chill and like relax. So people are like hungover, like starting their day. But once we get there, it's beautiful. It's just like a little slice of an oasis. It's a beautiful beach. There's jungle. Within, minutes, we have our naked staff like set up the bar. They have the bar open, like going. Then there's like a line, and people like are getting drinks, and the whole bar, the whole staff of our team, like it's amazing. I think you met a few of them, Steve, but they're all just like amazing. They all just get undressed, they put the music, and it just like this beach vibe starts happening. People are like in this the ocean swimming. Honestly, there's people like reading books, there's like people taking naps, there's people dancing, and then there's like another enclave of like the little cave. I hate that I'm like using this word now. I'm like in like the
No,
Finland.
we need to make it a thing. Don't hate it. Just submit, baby. Okay. All
Lean into it.
right.
Because there literally is like an enclave like next to the beach, and it's amazing. Like I feel like literally God gave us gays these little cave. There's a cave of wonders there, where you go into the cave. There's a light just peers in just right, so when you're in there, your body's just like glistening, and you're just like in heaven. And there's groups of 20, 30 to up to 100 depending on the day, but in the high season there's like big groups, so it's just beautiful. Just it's clothing optional, but honestly like 95% of the people are naked, and the other 5% are as comfortable as can be. Like there's no pressure on the beach, so you just do whatever you feel comfortable in. But my ethos for this is like we just like provide a safe space for anybody to do whatever they want. So you're just in Mexico enjoying yourself, and you do whatever you want. And we do like volleyball, naked twister, snorkeling, dancing activities. So there's like a lot going on. It's a pretty nice long beach, so you could pick like wherever you want to like be at. So you could do different activities during the day. You don't have to like pick one group or one thing to do. So it's really nice, like kind of pick your adventure kind of a thing.
Oh, love
Yeah.
that. I love that so much. I gotta, well, I need to come for Steve's birthday, so I don't know if I'm invited, but
Yes.
I
You are.
definitely,
Yeah.
okay, all
Oh,
right.
please
Yeah.
come.
I might invite it myself.
Yes.
But so yeah, I love that. But I also saw that you have some other options as far as excursions on your website. So tell us a little bit more about what else you offer other than the naked beach and things of that nature.
Yeah. The naked beach gets a lot of attention, of course, because it's like naked and it's a large group kind of a thing. But we also do private tours, and I think it's like 50% of our business. That one we take, like I was mentioning to Steve, and he brought his family in town. We take families, couples, kids, groups out. There's a ton of little towns around Puerto Vallarta, Yalapa, Quimixto, and these are beautiful little towns, indigenous property around the bay. And you could only get to these places by boat, and they're beautiful little villages where there's waterfalls, there's like moonshine that tastes amazing, like mezcal, like homemade mezcal. Really amazing, like local people. They go and just like walk around these little towns and just hang out. So we do excursions there for snorkeling. Also at nighttime, there's bioluminescence in the bay, so we do like night tours as well. Marietas Islands. I don't know if you guys looked it up, but it's these beautiful islands with like this like donut hole cutouts, which are amazing as well. And also like whale watching tours. We do that as well. We're like certified whale watching. So we do a lot of stuff. We're like
Ooh.
bartenders, we're guides, we're naked, we're family friendly, we snorkel, we hike, we do everything. So I'm very proud of
Do
our
it
team.
all.
Like they do anything whenever we need them to do something, they're on it. They're bartenders. They can do everything. Everybody's like multi-talented.
And
So
Jet, what I love
shout out to the
about
team.
And Jet, what I love about your tours and what you're offering is so many people go year after year. A lot of my friends, and they just go to the Zona Romantica, which is amazing and has so much to
Mm.
offer. But you're offering some of these really cool excursions that are off the beaten path and intimate, and offering them another take on it, which I think is really cool. I know you also do bar tours if you want to do that, and recently you've
Yeah.
been done a couple weddings as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's been great. I just have so many different like likes of different things around Vallarta in the world. And everybody's just like, would you like to do a sex dungeon? Sure. Do you want to do a wedding? Let's do it. Do you want to do a naked beach? I'm down. Like,
Love
like, you
it.
want to go for drinks? I'm like, let's do a bar hop. We're, like, gay hostel, like everything. I love Vallarta. It's just been a very, like, conducive place for me to just throw out ideas and people love it. And, but yeah, like the private tours is one of my personal favorites because you get to like have personal connections with people. Where the nice thing about the naked is that it's large groups, so you can mix and mingle with a lot of people. But with the private tours, you can have one-on-one conversations. You ask questions about certain areas, the language, the culture, fish, the mountains, the sky, everything, all the different things that people want to know, and people come back year after year for that. So that's very special, and then you make really long-lasting friends through those trips. So I really love that side of the business as well.
Well, we are live, and Leon, watching us live, says right now he must have gone on one of your tours, and the guides
Yeah.
are sweethearts. And speaking of some of the guides on the Naked Beach tours, I heard you can have your drinks stirred with what? Tell us that story, because I want my drink stirred with. Well, can you tell this story, or?
Yeah, well, I love it because the guides they just make up like things that stick, and there's one of our favorites, Rashid. Shout out to Sexy Rashid. He just loves to personally like stir the drinks with his dick, and I'm always like, can I have one of those?
I want one on my birthday.
Yeah, I'm
Sexy
like,
Rashid, shout out.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, can the boss get one in, please? And but it's a favorite, and then there's also like a dick shot that people do. Like another favorite of mine, Sinai, huge dick. Can I say dick on this show?
You
Yes.
can say whatever you want on this show. We take
Yeah,
it all.
huge. Yeah, and he's like the most straight guy that we have. And but he has like a huge one. He loves to show it off, and what he does, he like dangles it over people's mouths and like pours like tequila on his 6-pack, and it just pours off this like huge cock into their mouths, and people just fucking go crazy for that. That's another one. I'm like, can I get one of those? So these are my favorites.
Chet, we all want your job. That's definitely.
I love my job as well, so I know. Oh, also, just throwing it out there, we do volunteer gigs as well. So if you ever guys want to come, because the tickets are like $140, but if you're able and willing, to like carry boxes and be like, oh, actually the position started out being like daddy volunteer, where we would have like hot daddies come and like volunteer with us, and like because they don't like need the pay or whatever, but they would just come and help us like lift the boxes, get with the guys, help bartending, take some
Flex their
photos,
muscles.
flex their muscles. Exactly. And you could be totally our hot daddy volunteer if you want to do it. It's a lot of fun, and then you
Not
get
on my
to really
birthday,
like,
but I will do it on another Friday or
yeah, he
Saturday
doesn't
for
want to work
sure.
on his birthday.
No, I just want it. I want that dick in my drink, and yeah. But
There
any
you
other
go.
time, Kodi too, right?
Oh yeah, I could be a hot daddy. I got I
Yeah,
meet those qualifications for sure.
yeah. You just need to learn how to swim and
Got
take a
it.
dick. Just kidding. No, just learn, just learn how to swim.
I was like, oh,
No,
I'm
just learn how to
out.
swim. Just basically learn how to swim, get along with the crew. But if anybody's listening or if you guys are interested, you could always let us know, and we love to, have volunteers, especially during the high season, because it helps us like scale up for large groups.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, it already sounds like there's a lot of wild things going on here, but I want to know, what is your wildest experience that you've ever had on one of these excursions? Please tell me. Let the people know what they can expect.
The wildest,
I mean, spill the tea, Kodi.
Yeah, spill the
wildest.
tea as I drink my wine.
I'm a very spiritual man, so I feel like everything that happens for a reason. And on one good day, it was my birthday on the tour. I was like, let me just go and see what's gonna happen today. And it was definitely like the wildest, best time of my life that I had, because it was a small little private group. It was at that time it was only like maybe 10 people on the group, but everybody was exactly my type, like exactly what I wanted. And since I was a tour guide, I was like kind of like telling them what to do. So
Here
we
we go.
basically went up. There was a beautiful little waterfall. There was a light glistening. Everybody was like looking at me. I was glowing, and then basically it turned into a gangbang, and it was like the best fucking
Oh,
trip of my life, and I deserved it. So I was very happy about it.
happy birthday to you.
Yeah, and then I got paid at the end.
Oh my gosh. What more can you ask for, honestly?
Well, speaking of
Oh,
getting
and then I got referred. So
Well, speaking of getting paid, we have to switch gears to your OnlyFans, and we will list everything about Jet's private tours at the end of the show
yeah.
and on the website, tagspodcast.com, of course. But you recently have embarked on an OnlyFans, and it's Jets only, correct? Jets only.
Yep.
That's how people can
Yes,
find
yes.
you. And what was the inspiration to get into that? And I heard you told me recently that you saw a clip from one of our past shows that gave you even more license to not like feel a little bit more comfortable about your OnlyFans.
No, it was my ex-boyfriend breaking up with me, Maury. That was it. No, I'm just
I've been
kidding.
there.
Maury, that is no, it was a culmination of things. Everything kind of like lined up for me on this OnlyFans thing, but I was in a relationship for 2 years, and we were very like saints about it. We were like, we can't show this, we can't show that, and we're like, we're gonna get married. So it was very like confined for both of us. But deep inside, I think we both were like wanting to just kind of be more free with our sexuality and like what we liked. So when we finished, we broke up in amicable terms, and we're still friends, and we work together. And he's our, shout out to him. He's amazing as well. But he launched his OnlyFans, and I was like, well, why can't I? And then, and then at the same time, yeah, your podcast came on, and all these things were like aligning for me that I just didn't really see before. And I was like, yeah, why not? Like he's doing it, why can I do it? I met you, Steve. It was wonderful meeting you on the Vacaya trip. We talked about it. Then all of a sudden, we were like catapulted to like that photo shoot on the second deck.
Yeah, so to give people a
Wait,
little reference for Vacaya, Vacaya had their red light district, which of course they hired Jet to create the red light district, and they had asked me and a bunch of other people to do some promo video and pictures for an upcoming Vacaya cruise that they're gonna post this huge thing, and they had asked me, and when Patrick of Vacaya asked me, he said, would you want to participate in this for kind of scintillating like video? But he said, would you want to do it with Jet? Because Jet said he would film with you. And I said, oh, if Jet wants to, who I had met the day before, absolutely. And so we did, and we were into it, I think.
Yeah, this was all very new to me. I'd never posted anything like this at all online. We still don't know what the pictures look like to this day. He said he was gonna send them to me, but yeah, I think that was also like the one of the beginning seeds. I'm like, I'm thinking about it, and like, what? And then now we had like these photographers. We have this sex club that I set up. The sexy Steve over here, that's like the sexy Poppy that I just can't stop. kissing and like
Wait, should I
looking at.
go? I don't know.
No, no.
I don't know.
And it was
I
really
mean, I
fun.
love it, but just let me
Well,
know
the
if I
thing
need to
is,
leave.
Kodi, and what was really cool is, Jet, you in conversations with you and what you had talked to me about, and also with another guest that we had on our other show, which is called Of a Certain Age, and I can't believe I'm referencing that for for this OnlyFans thing, but she is a woman of a certain age and has her OnlyFans. Shout out to Susan Bratton. And I was like,
Oh,
when talking to you, Jet, I was like, I should start mine too. And so this would be a really great time to announce your OnlyFans, which you have, which is at Jets Only on
yeah. Slash
OnlyFans.
yeah. OnlyFans slash Jets only. And I'm
Well,
curious,
say it
Cody,
again, actually. Say it again.
OnlyFans.com/Jets only, JETS only. Yeah.
Perfect. And then mine, I just launched today, and Jet and I have a scene, and a scene on Jet's too, which is totally different, that we recorded. Mine is Sexy Poppy Steve V. Sexy Poppy Steve V. And we'll announce it a little bit more at the end. I don't want to take away from your interview, but thank you, Jet, for helping to encourage me to really get on the platform. And you've given me a lot of notes and a lot of inspiration, and I really appreciate it. And so more announcements on it later. I don't want to take away from Jet, but thank you. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you.
Wow.
What about you, Cody? Do you have an
I
OnlyFans?
know.
I feel like I'm like now. I'm wondering why not.
Wait a minute. I'm doing the interviewing here. You are not doing the interview.
He's talked
Well,
about it so much on this show,
I
though. That's the whole
literally have.
thing.
No, that's great. Thank
yeah,
you for
y'all
asking, Jet.
have.
And I've been inspired by you guys, so we will see. And that is all I'm going to say on it. But yeah, so I definitely am thinking
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. What I really love about OnlyFans from this perspective of now opening it till before is that it was a very like eye-opening journey, beautiful journey for myself. Just like the first time being on a naked beach, it's like it's such a taboo. And you know, if you go to Seychelles or if you go like other gay beaches around the world, you know, there is nude beaches around the world, and same with sex clubs and bathhouses and all this stuff. But you know, that first moment where you like take it off and then you feel like fine and you're
Yes.
like it wasn't like that. It wasn't that bad. That's kind of like the relief that I got whenever I finally opened it, and I was just like, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad, and it's actually been such a fun experience for me, and so, but it was very scary for like my whole life to even think about myself doing anything like that. And actually, going back to your question, Cody, about like what brought me to Vallarta, I had a boyfriend at the time who read my numerology, and he said I would be a good porn producer thanks to my numerology.
Oh,
And I ended up moving to Vallarta thinking I would find, you know, like good cost models. Didn't work out. They were too shy. Didn't work out as planned. This was before OnlyFans and all this like craze. And I ended up just being a tour guide because I wasn't a successful porn producer. Flash forward 7 years later, and now I'm producing porn on the
there it is.
platform. So it's pretty crazy.
You never know your fate. Yes, I love it.
Yeah, and what I'm liking
Yeah.
about it too is that you can create your own content and how you want to portray your sex positivity and go on a journey with your followers, which is kind of really cool that I'm really excited about. So, all right. Did you have any more
Yeah.
questions for him? We can continue to promote him
I
before we.
can definitely come
we
up with a lot more
we gotta have
questions for
Jet on
Jet.
more,
I adore
but
Jet so much.
let's bring in a couple hot topics. I know you said you'd
Okay.
weigh in on some of these,
Cool.
Jet, and we want to get your take. There is Hugh Hefner, of all people, who's been passed away for a long time, Playboy Mansion, has a bisexual son who has an OnlyFans account. And recently he was on a huge podcast, Girls Next Level podcast. And he was asked what's one of the craziest requests he's been asked. And this is a little weird, but he actually said this one guy I feel like was a frat guy, but he asked him he wanted him to like fart on him, which is so crazy. And this girl actually said, "I will do it on your face." And it brings up the question, okay, that's not going to be anywhere on my OnlyFans, y'all.
Are
But
you sure?
no, definitely. I stated what I would put on mine. If anybody goes to
Okay.
There's a
Sexy
market
Practice,
for everyone.
there
I
is, and
mean,
that's not my market. But I'm just, have you had requests, Jet, lately, or are there certain things you will and will not do from your fans?
For sure. Yeah, there's definitely things I will not do. I'm not anything goes kind of a guy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like scat and piss. I think that's like basically in
okay.
blood. Like that's basically the three, right? Like that's like the standard for myself. Yeah, I don't see it evolving anytime soon at all either.
Oh, piss. I didn't think
But
of that one. I should add that to mine because I would be okay with that one. But
yeah, yeah, but you know, I like to play into the chacal, which is like the gangster term that we have in Mexico, like the gangster chacal, like masculine energy, like you know, like in the closet kind of things. And you know, those things would never like leap into like somebody getting farted on or like shat on or like you know, it would never like go from you know you meet like a hot straight gangster to like cut to it's like a full on fisting thing, you know.
you
So
also like the
um,
dominant thing too,
I
correct?
was
Like
going to say,
slapping and smacking around, which I'm not sure if you're ever going to release that video, but I think we
oh
shot
my gosh,
something that
I
was.
might go actually right
and you
now.
know,
But no, Jet, wait a minute. What if you're the dominant one? What if you were the one that is
What
actually
if?
doing oh gosh.
what if?
What if you're doing the peeing and the scatting and all of those types of things? What if Steve? What would you be down to do that?
Honestly, I'm fine without it.
You're good? Okay. Just a question.
Yeah, like I respect people's desires and needs and wants, and I love
Yeah.
it. Like this other time, we were on the beach, and this like hot twink, there was probably like 30 of us on the beach, and he had joined me that day. Super hot twink, and just like I think like 21, and beautiful body, just gorgeous Latino boy. He just surprised me, and he was like got laid down, and he was like pee on me. I was like, "Are you serious?" I mean, I don't mind it. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like right here in front of everybody. And
Was
then I
he
was like,
stung by
"Well,
jellyfish? Is what I want to know.
no, no jellyfish." But then other guys got near him, and then it was like six of us like peeing on him, and I was like, "That's pretty hot, actually." But yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, but anything else a little crazy? I guess not for me. But I'm glad that there's everything for everybody out there. You know?
That's right.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
moving on to a Reddit thread that I think you could actually offer a lot of insight into this. And they wrote, "How to take the best nude pics." They wrote, "Guys who are good at taking nudes, what tips would you have to share? I'm fit and have a good and average, just under 6 inches, pretty thick, 5 inches dick that always looks small in pictures. Guys will often say it's bigger than they thought. Trying to figure out how to step up my game and build confidence taking nude photos." And I really want your advice on this because I'm embarking on this. Although I have a professional photographer coming over this Friday who's going to be
Come over,
shooting me,
baby.
but I'm going to have to do some of this on my own. So, Jet, what
Get
would
that
be your
close
advice?
up. Get that
Yeah,
close up.
what's your advice? Close up?
So, but this is a real question. Like people really want to know how.
On
Yes,
Reddit,
it really
yes.
is.
Well,
So
let's
take
see.
it
Good
seriously.
lighting. Good lighting.
Okay.
It's all about the lighting. It's all about the mirror, right? Like the mirror, the lighting. You always want those to be perfect. Don't forget about golden hour. You know, like that's where everything's glistening. Don't forget about the morning wood. That's when you're at the peak.
Yes. That's when we
And that's
shot
what I
our
get.
secondary video.
Yeah, Cody. I'm sure he loves to hear that.
Yeah,
um,
I'm promoting your fan page. It's on. Yeah.
You know, and I will say this, you know, since we're amongst friends here, you
We
know,
are.
girl, don't be afraid to get out little Facetune app or little like, you know, little editing apps because sometimes you are bigger in person, you know, and you could just tweak it here and there, but don't go crazy. but just just make yourself look good, girl. What I say, Beyonce uses Photoshop, so why
That's
can't
right.
you?
That's right.
Why can't you?
Get it.
True
I love
story.
that advice. Steve, do you have advice for taking selfies and nude pics?
I don't. That's why I'm asking. I'm new to this. So I have a
Oh,
photographer coming over on
I'm sure,
Friday,
Daddy.
and
I'm
no, I
sure,
would
Poppy
agree.
Steve.
I would agree with you. Lighting is everything. And are you a bigger fan of natural light or like ring lights and all that kind of thing?
I like that natural like morning light. I always love. That's kind of how my OnlyFans started because I just love. I always like take that morning. You're on the fast, so you also like you're skinny in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah, you're that skinny in the morning look. The sun is hitting right. You got the mirror, like nobody's bothering you. Feeling good about yourself. You take that picture, you're good to go. Paying the bills, girl. The morning.
I love
That's how it
it.
works.
And we wanted you to weigh in on one more Reddit thread that just came through recently, and it's tips on how to give good head. Like in the title, I want to know how to give good head. I've given head twice, but both times it felt like I wasn't really pleasuring the guy, and it felt like my mouth was dry despite having my mouth filled with spit. And if you have any tips for deep throating, I'd appreciate it. I feel like you, Jet, would have a lot to say on this. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just do.
What's your
Right.
input,
Now I'm really
Steve?
going to go.
What's your
I think that if you learn to, like, I used to think that I had a bad gag reflex, and I've recently
so
learned
bad,
that I'm
so bad?
better at it now.
Oh
And
my Lord
I don't
Jesus.
know. I just
You are a professional, Steve. You should give a full-on master class on how to go underwater for half an hour
Oh
without
my
breathing.
God.
Cody, take notes from your bestie over here. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know
He's
you.
going to write a boat. He's going to write a book. I'm just like, oh my
Write a
God.
boat to write a
He's going to
book.
write a boat in a book
oh my
and
gosh.
I'll read the
Well,
book,
In all
you could
seriousness,
see,
though,
but I will
nobody
not
all
watch the
obviously,
video.
seriousness,
nobody
you could
likes,
see
yeah,
Steve's talent on our OnlyFans for sure.
Oh, okay. There it is.
yes,
Shameless plug. I love it.
yes, absolutely. Cody, do you have any advice for somebody on how to give good head?
I certainly do. But I understand that you are, when you are sucking a dick, that if your mouth feels a little bit dry, just try and do as much as you can to make sure that it is as wet as possible and it doesn't matter about
Wepa.
deep throating the dick. It is the making sure that you get as much of the dick as stimulated as possible. Even if you can't deep
Yeah.
throat it, lick around the balls, lick around the shaft, things of that nature in order to make sure that they are having the most pleasurable experience as possible.
Yeah, and honestly, don't be afraid to ask for a glass of water.
We
Be
all have to
like,
hydrate.
I'm parched. I'm parched
We
I
all
out.
have
am
to
parched.
hydrate.
And
That's
yeah,
right.
go for some glass of water. Do you have your favorite poppers brand? Actually, Scorpio is my favorite.
Double
I was
Scorpio?
actually, yeah, y'all know Double Scorpio
Oh,
poppers
yes.
brand. So that guy, Julian, he's from Austin, Texas, where I'm from, and we were buddies growing up. We used to party together. He'd always have the poppers at the party, so we hope to do a collab in the future. But anyway, that is my favorite poppers brand. But I was actually going to mention, this is a little crazy, but do you ever feel like you guys like poppers, right?
Yes.
I know
I
Steve
don't
does.
really. But go ahead.
You don't, Cody?
Not
Yes,
really.
really? Oh,
No, it
okay.
gives me a
I'm
headache. It makes my
curious.
dick a little soft. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but Steve, do you feel like sometimes you could kind of feel the other guy's passion when you do poppers? Like what stimulates them? Do you ever feel like mutual stimulation with poppers? Do you ever feel like
Yeah,
you
it
know?
helps for me if I'm already really into the guy on whatever level that is. Like I have to really, there's something I'm just animalistic about them already. And then you do the poppers on top of that. And then it takes it to a real primal level that, yeah. So, yes, the answer would be yes, absolutely. But I
Yeah,
kind of have
yeah.
to already be into them. Like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, that was kind of my, I know poppers are not for everybody, but I've learned over the years how to like dominate them and not them like dominate me as
Mm.
far as like headaches and like, of course your dick gets soft sometimes. So like, all those things like can make it like bad side effects. But if you can like kind of learn how to dominate them mentally, then it works out like really well sometimes.
You should
But
write a book
whenever,
on poppers. We got all the books
right?
coming
He
out.
needs to write a book of
Yes.
jokes.
But what I like about poppers is that you kind of can feel the guys like what they like the most. So another answer to your question is like I honestly have been getting into like letting guys know to just relax. Because if you like sucking dick like some people do, sometimes you don't want like your head to be like "Ugh," like you don't want to go crazy. Sometimes you just want to enjoy yourself. And some guys I think are just too much like crazy about getting like as deep throated or getting as much into as possible in those short seconds so they're gonna get ahead. And instead of just like relaxing, you as a giver or a receiver, and just be like, how about we just enjoy this? It's not gonna be like the porn movies where you're just like smashing heads and like deep throating. Like, how about you just enjoy a head for like the first time in your life? And
Oh,
that's kind of like my little take on it. So just
I want to
ask
go
for a
to
glass of
Jet's
water.
Tantra retreat coming up soon because,
We are going to
I mean,
we
really, would you
copywriting
imagine
all
him
of this.
saying that? You would just be like,
Okay.
whatever you say, Jet, I will do whatever you say. Gladly. Or at least I
Yeah,
would.
so
But
those are
okay.
my tips. Get a glass of water, just relax and enjoy.
And oh my gosh, Jet, we want to thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. And how can people follow
Yeah,
you?
thank
What's
you
the
guys.
best way to keep in contact with you?
Instagram, Jets Adventures, Facebook as well, Jets Adventures, only Jets only. Um, Twitter, Jets Adventures. But yeah, just stay in touch. Look up Jets Adventures or Jet de la Isla on Google, and you'll find something interesting about me. So check it out.
And we're going to collaborate more in the new year, I suspect, I hope,
Yes, stay
perhaps.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Yes,
Come on,
exactly.
Cody. We're
I
looking for that
definitely won't be there for
collab.
that.
Come on, Cody. We need that collab,
I love you
Cody.
both, though.
Thank you
Come
so
on, sex
much, Jet.
positivity.
This has been
Thank you guys
awesome.
so much. This has been a lot of fun for me. Talking about sex has been very refreshing for me. So thank you so much, guys, for having this platform for people to talk about sex openly. And it was really nice for me. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
All
Thank you,
right.
babe.
We'll see you soon. Thank you, Jet.
Later,
All right.
guys.
Amazing, Cody,
Yes.
right? So
So
much
great, so
fun.
great.
We have to have him back
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I have more
So much
questions.
fun, yes. And like I said, I announced my OnlyFans, and for the next 2 days, you can get my OnlyFans for free. The content that I have up there, including a scene that I did with Jet, it's up there. And I put the link, I'll put it one more time in there so you can follow it. The first 10 people get it for free for 7 days a week. And I'm shooting with a photographer this weekend. So new content coming next week. I'm really excited. I am Sexy Poppy Steve V, or Sexy Poppy Hung Steve V, as the profile name says. And I'm just excited to embark on my sex positivity journey. It's about time.
Lovely.
I'm of a
Yes.
certain age, and I feel very confident in what I'm doing now, thanks to Jet and a lot of other people. I'm really proud and happy to be going down this path. So check it
Congratulations.
out. Thanks. Yeah. You can always follow my co-host. Mr. Maurice is his personal account. He is a life coach at KMD Coaching.
That's
KMD
right.
Coaching. And check out our new show, Of a Certain Age. Of a Certain Age, OACA Owaka, wherever you get your podcast. Kodi sings the theme song of A Certain Age, which comes out in the new year. Follow us, Of a Certain Age Pod, on Instagram, and follow me. I am _Steve V on the gram. Cody, and in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Lovely. Oh my goodness. It was fun.